Hello, hello. It is Corey again with Clear Property Management. We are at in Maumelle is actually where we're at. We're in these D.R. Horton homes. They are developing quite a bit of this area right through here. So I swung by over here. I went by here one time whenever one of our investors was actually on a pretty strict timeline. So this did not work out. They are putting them up, and now they've got some more. I guess they go kind of in bunches right there. And so they'll like have a lot kind of come available and then people will grab them. And then a lot come available and people will grab them. I guess that's kind of that assembly line of the way that they're actually developing in these neighborhoods. But with that, this is, I believe, the Cali plan. It is actually on the water. So it's just a little bit more. I think it was like $4,000 more or something like that. But this one was the only one that's still available right now that's on the water right there. So it's kind of got a little, it's like a big pond is what it is. It's not a lake or anything else like that. But anyways, I want to kind of show this one real quick. So I'm actually in here in the living room. So you're going to obviously have to use your imagination and everything else like that. They do have very large countertops and stuff like that I really like about the way that these D.R. Horton homes are. But you can obviously see that range will be right there, microwave right there, fridge will be right there. I'm sure you'll have to obviously buy your fridge, but everything else will obviously be there. But coming around here, you've kind of got your, I guess that would be your dining room right here then at that point, and then this would be your living room. Obviously very big windows and stuff like that, which is nice. Huge vaulted ceilings and everything. It really feels really spacious in here. But going back to the outside, what I like about this one is obviously they don't have huge lots or anything else like that, but you've kind of got it a little bit done up. Obviously the ditch right there is not that great, but if you look to your left or to your right, you can obviously see that water feature right there. And what's very unique about this one too as well is there is no neighbor right here. So clearly they can't build another house, so you're gonna have the little walking trail that kind of goes in. Walking trail, and goes all out and everything else like that. So you could obviously, I think the rule is you can kind of see, so you're building fences on the outsides, but it's got to be railing on the back. So I don't know if they're going to force this to be railing, but you could obviously do fence all the way across and then do that railing all the way down. So that way you could be able to kind of sit out here. The beautiful part about where this is right here, you could set up a couple patio furniture or whatever it may be, and literally this would be your view, which would be very, very nice right there. There will obviously be a house right there because it looks like there's one more lot right there, but you would be pretty secluded on this backside right here. And again, like I said, it's only like $4,000 difference right there, and I really think that that's a really good point to have right there. So this is a 4-bedroom. You could get a little bit more rent for that, and they actually do this plan out a little bit better. So let's start with this. So this is the primary bedroom. So obviously you've got the other bedrooms up there. Your primary is in the very back here. Again, you've got these vaulted ceilings out. You can kind of see the little like indentation. I don't know if my phone's picking that up well. But anyways, but there you go. Sitting tub right there, which is nice. You got a big old countertops right there, not huge or anything. Obviously that'll be glassed. You're just gonna have to use your imagination a little bit, and then your shower right there. So it's pretty nice. That is a little tight right there. It's not too bad. You obviously couldn't put like shelving or anything right there. You could do, well, your hooks right there. So you could probably put some shelving right there. Yeah, you could make it work. You could even, well, yeah, because you could even put it in on this side if you wanted to. So toilets right there too as well. What I like about this is it has big old closets for the size right there. So you see what I'm saying? Like this is obviously not going to be there. So that's going to be all open space that you could probably stick something right there if you wanted to. And then you've got your built-ins right there on this back side, which is nice. So it's always hard showing new constructions when they're in this stage because obviously you want to see them be completed and see countertops and everything else like that. Pantry in here, decent sized pantry, nothing huge or anything. But yeah, it kind of got a little bit more storage. Coming through here, cook closet. Nice, nice. So this is what I was gonna say. So that's obviously your front door, garage is right here. So sometimes whenever they do these 4 bedrooms, they do not think it out. They just try and drop a room in here, but this is your 4th bedroom in here. So laundry room's right here. This is your 4th bedroom. Good size. Obviously your primary bathroom is just on the other side, not the primary room. That's on the other side, but primary bathroom is now up on that wall right there. So it kind of gives you a little bit of breather. Got some space right there in the closet. Sometimes whenever they do these like non-traditional walk-in top closets right there, they don't give you much space right here. But I've noticed that D.R. Horton does do that, so they at least thought that out. Big old windows. It's a very staple piece that they do as well. But what I'm saying is you've got this 4th bedroom right here, but your bathroom when you go shower is right there. It's not far. Sometimes whenever they do that 4th bathroom, it's like, bro, like I'm not walking through the living room to go, go take a shower or anything else like that. It's just really odd. See, this one isn't, this one's just a little bit more shallow right there. So just something I always kind of note or kind of notice, I guess, whenever I'm doing these things. Countertops, I guess that would be, so I guess it would just be one. So it would just have one sink right here. This would obviously just be counter space, but it would not be a, like a faucet, you know what I'm saying? So this would be there. And then your, I guess your 1st bedroom, but 4th for our tour, right there. And then this one's obviously a little bit more shallow too as well. So, driveway's not too steep. We can go out there. It's a muddy mess. It's been raining like crazy the past 3 days. Going out here. Kind of got your little walk up, and there's your driveway right there. So obviously they'll build out all these others right here. You can kind of see it kind of drops off right there on the other side of that. And then clearly they are going to build on down the street over there. But it looks like obviously this is all developed this way. So thinking on it, when people are coming in and stuff like that, you could shoot around that thing, come down here, hit the sign right here. You wouldn't have to go through more of your construction type zone that's kind of going out that way, which would be nice. Sometimes whenever these neighborhoods are getting developed, they don't think like that. They kind of go from back to front, and whenever you're living there and they're still developing those neighborhoods, it's just an absolute pain because you're having to go around all the trucks and stuff. But D.R. Horton does do a good job on kind of thinking that through. But very wide open spaces. Again, they've kind of got a few little things or whatever that I really, really like. Again, I would suggest this one. I believe this is the Cali plan, I believe is what it's actually called. It's either that or the Justin plan, but I believe it's the Cali plan. But I've got it in my text message. I just can't flip it over there right now. So anyways, there's like 4 or something like that in this plan. There's there's some kind of whatever plan that I would not suggest. It's a little odd if I'm being honest right there. And then there's a Justin plan. Like I said, it's one of these 2 right there. But this one right here is very unique because it's the only one that's available, will be available for the rest of the year, that is on the water right there, and you're kind of in the corner right there too. So anyways, I want to kind of show this to you. Was coming through the area. I've actually got another investor that is buying on the other side over there. It's one of the Rosh Coleman type homes over there. That one is getting finished, I think, on the 12th of January, I believe. So I was getting some progress photos for him. I always like to document it, kind of send it out to him so that way he's updated on what's kind of going on as well. So if you're interested in some D.R. Horton type homes for investment or whatever it may be, give us a shout. We obviously know this very well. I've got good contacts here too as well. She's very responsive to me and everything else. So let me know. Happy Friday.